Hey everyone, Selwyn here for Wynn Strength, wrapping up the 19th week of the Average to Savage 2.0 training program written by Greg Nuckols over at strongbyscience.com. Like usual, I'll leave links in the description below so you can check out the program, which I highly recommend, as well as checking out that Strong by Science website, an amazing resource to help you get stronger and build more muscle with some evidence-based recommendations. So the 19th week is the second last working week of the Average Savage 2.0 training program. If you haven't been following along, I've been doing the hypertrophy edition of the program. So there's several variations or flavors of the program that you receive when you purchase a program, which is an amazing steal because it is such a versatile, like one of those variants is already quite versatile, and now you have several more that add to that versatility and flexibility to suit whatever your requirements are. It's been amazing for me. I've tested out working out 4 days a week and 3 days a week, changing up the movements each phase, even changing up some set rep schemes. So it is quite a flexible program, and depending on how much you want to dive into that Excel spreadsheet can depend on how much you change up the program. If you really don't care for it, the default settings are great. That's what I kind of did for the first week. For the first phase, didn't really change anything. And then as the training program went on, kind of changed little things here and there just to see how it worked out. And I mean, even if you change it up, it still kind of works quite nicely. And it is built into there where Greg actually walks you through how to change things in and out to make sure that the program is most tailored to you as possible, which is really, really cool. If you've been following along at home with the training progress, you'll notice that the third and final phase has been the most successful phase out of all of them. And again, just reiterating that it shows how important it is to see a program through to the end. Don't jump ship when a program doesn't really show progress, especially if that's within the first month of the program. Please just ride it out up until that last point, because that's when you're going to really see some really great results. So that being said, what I'll do is I'll throw over to some training highlights over the course of the week. So like usual, starting off with some squats. Again, with that low bar squat, we're kind of reverting back to the regular pattern of the low bar back squat. Unfortunately, this week we didn't exceed the rep targets, but we did match the rep targets. So 8 reps here for a weight of 360 pounds. Again, it's feeling quite nice, nothing too crazy here. Just watching those knees, making sure that they stay out for the entire movement. Kind of think about keeping the knees in line with the toes as you push up and back. One thing you notice is the breathing and bracing could do some work. You'll see my shoulders are rising up, meaning that I'm not really breathing into that core, into that abdomen, and the diaphragm kind of breathing into the shoulders. Again, that belt kind of gets in the way of that, but I think it's still kind of solid. But again, something to work on, something you can always improve on when you're performing these movements and watching it back again. Here we have some overhead presses, another movement where we didn't quite exceed the rep targets, but we did meet the rep targets for the final set. So 160 pounds here for a set of 8. And this is probably one of the most improved lifts over the entire course of the program. I'm really stoked with the results with the press, just from a technical perspective, just because it has improved a lot since we started here about 19 weeks ago now. And even before that, this is one of the lifts that's really bothered me in the past. So it's good to see it finally progressing. And here we're moving on to some deficit deadlifts. I think this is a much better fit for the hypertrophy program, just because you are extending that range of motion, increasing that time under tension, getting more muscle mass engaged just by increasing activation in the hamstrings and the lower back. You'll see here I am using some straps, no concern there. The other thing I am doing is using those heeled squat shoes. Again, it's an elevated deadlift, so you're really not really losing out on much, is because you're already on an elevation, so the elevated heel isn't really going to get in the way of that. Here we have the deadlift actually exceeding the rep targets this week. So we hit 325 for a set of 10. One of the better performances for a high rep deadlift. This is one of the lifts in the last few years. I haven't really exceeded 8 reps, so being able to hit 10 reps with any sort of significant weight is pretty good. Again, you'll notice that I am doing a little bounce off of the floor and using some wrist straps. So there's that. Here we have the pause squats with the SS Joke barbell. Experimenting here with flat shoes and a wider stance just to vary up that stimulus to the muscle and to the body, and try and activate some different muscles and take some stress off of the narrower stance squat there with a regular barbell. So
kind of think about how you can vary the squat variety up over the course of your training, and that goes with all the movements. It'll help spread out the load across your joints and the way you're loading the muscle, or the way you're loading the body. Really, you're moving them in different planes, different angles, and it'll just help expose and build some muscle that won't directly carry over, but will help strengthen up the overall musculature and stability of the body. Not quite a great pause there, kind of a 1 second pause, not really a 2 second pause, but it is a pause nonetheless.
So that'll wrap up the 19th week of training, the second final working week of the training program. Be sure to tune in next week to catch that final training vlog, followed by the week after that with my overall rating and review of the program. Spoiler alert, is probably going to be overwhelmingly positive. This has been Selwyn from Wynn Strength, and remember, a better life through strength. Overwhelmingly,